A fault is a weakness, a defect, a fracture. Faults divide, tear, and consume. Here in the city of Chester's Chasm, we struggle to maintain that precarious balance over the precipice in the earth, in our lives, and in our hearts. This story is about 4 teenagers with faults of their own.
The fault between my faith and freedom.
The fault between my family and identity.
The fault between my life and death.
The fault between my guilt and revenge.
As these fractures grow, we stand at the edge and ask, what must we sacrifice to sate the void's endless hunger? Is it possible that the answer lies within all our faults? Greetings, and welcome to All Our Faults, a Monster Hearts 2 actual play podcast by the Tabletop Talespinners Network. I am your hostess and MC, Mistress Winter. Sadly, we've come to the end of another Pride Month, one whose celebrations I would argue are desperately needed in this political environment, especially for us transgender and gender nonconforming peoples. Our rights are under siege, and we need the support of the greater LGBTQ+ community more than ever, something that the people of the Rainbow Roll Festival truly understand. This past weekend, the Rainbow Roll Festival was in full swing, broadcasting entries from queer actual plays. The array of screeners was incredible. The talent and creativity on display was inspiring. Our own humble podcast was nominated in several categories, which is a huge honor in and of itself. While we didn't score any W's, we were ecstatic to be counted among the best. More importantly, our participation aided the Rainbow Roll staff in doubling their goal to raise $1,000 for GATE, the Global Action for Transgender Equality, an organization defending the rights of trans and gender-diverse peoples across the world. The work of both organizations is so appreciated, and we send our thanks to everyone who steps up to that fight. Speaking of fights, Solomon and Michael managed to fight off Saline's hunter, Kocar, and return to the hospital to rejoin Saline and Crispin. Dr. Miller introduced herself to the whole group and offered to cover medical care for Solomon, who accepted with Crispin's company. Michael offered to take Saline home and, on the way, made a strange request: to drink from Saline. Realizing the peril he was in only after he drank the Fey blood, Michael had Saline drive him to his master's building, eager to complete the task given to him by Barbara. Vega whisked Michael away to the Cascade, with a worried and curious Saline tailing the vampires. Content warnings for this episode include descriptions of blood, grievous wounds, and murder. Time codes are in the show notes. Shoutouts and thank yous after the show. Please enjoy. Chapter 35. The Final Cut. Saline, you will be following the black SUV. If you will please give me a volatile.
9.
Very nice. You manage to keep pace. You lose a little ground, but you stay on the lead vehicle and realize that they are racing toward the national park and up the road toward the Cascade.
This is not good. This is so not good. But Saline doesn't even know how not good it is. I'm just trying to keep pace and get there. I don't understand what's happening.
The SUV nearly drifts into the parking lot, coming to a stop catty-corner across several parking spots. Are you doing anything to conceal yourself?
I'm going to try. I don't want them to know I'm there, yeah. I don't know if that's like driving past and circling back or stopping, so I don't really know.
Give me a keep your cool.
8.
In your quick thinking, you make the decision not to follow the vehicle into that parking lot and instead find a overlook that you know is a little further down, park there, and come back. However, you still can't help but track the SUV with your eyes as you pass by. So, as everybody's piling out of the vehicle, you catch sight of a very well-dressed, bearded man who matches your gaze and tracks you until you disappear behind the tree line.
Shit. Okay. Was there any indication of which way they were going as they were, like, getting out of the car and stuff like that?
They parked at the base of the trail that leads up to the Cascade. They could be going anywhere around there. But Michael would know. Michael, as you are pulled out of the vehicle and helped down a trail toward the caverns underneath the waterfall.
Is it to that cave?
All will be explained in a moment. You are practically dragged down into the caverns where Barbara is waiting.
I think Michael will look waveringly at Barbara and just say, I've done it. Let's get this over with.
She steps up to you, looking you over with those silvered eyes. She nods and pulls out a handful of what look like stones. Opening her hand, she reveals these small carved pieces of bone that have strange shifting symbols at their center. 5 of them, as was promised. Make sure that whoever you wish protected has one of these.
Yes, I will.
She will note your drunken nature and gingerly place them in your pocket. Now, for you to follow through, I need that open. And she points to what looks like a big translucent puddle hanging in the air. There is a small glowing window, like a break in the wall, in the puddle, with light shining through.
How?
That blood you consumed, channel it. It has the power to break that down. I don't know what effect it will have on you, but be prepared for it to be painful.
That is nothing.
Then you shan't mind.
He'll walk over to it and think about his friends for a moment, and then try willing it open.
Give me a dark.
Okay, so that is a 10.
At first, simply because this is a new experience, you have no idea how to do as she commands. But you find that energy, that toxicity that is coursing through you, focus on it, and begin to channel it out at this thing hovering in the air. Like hitting a brick wall with a sledgehammer, you see cracks form from an impact point, spider webbing across this puddle. 1 or 2 more attempts might shatter it.
All right, I'll try it again.
While you're doing that, Saline, you've parked and I assume made your way back?
Yeah, I'd be heading to the portal because I don't think it's the only magical spot I know about in this area, and things are sus, so I'm so mad right now.
You come upon the SUV, the doors, a couple of them still thrown open. Guess they're not terribly concerned about anybody going after it. but it is empty.
Is there anything to indicate where they went?
There are some fresh tracks that lead down one of the trails that you are well familiar with.
I'll follow those tracks until I can't anymore.
Okay. Are you taking pains to move stealthily?
I'm gonna try.
Okay. Give me a cold.
11. It's my first full success.
Wow. All right. Very nice. You will make your way down into the tunnels that you know so very well, knowing where the loose rocks are, where to step for sure footing, and will come across the scene. You have several of those security people waiting off to the side, and you have Barbara intently watching Michael as he seems to be making progress in shattering the gateway to your home realm.
I love that I could have fixed it this whole time if I just tried a little harder. So mad right now. Can I get to Michael without being seen?
Right now, no. He's right out in the open.
I don't know what to do.
Michael, what did you roll?
I rolled a 7.
Okay. Some of those cracks widen. That initial punch that you gave it took a lot out of you. And on this second hit, it's a lot weaker. There is this painful feedback. So take a harm.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Crispin and Solomon, you have been dropped off at the Humvee, and Dr. Miller has taken off, presumably toward the woods.
I'm going to take the key out of my pocket and just look at Solomon. We're so not going home, right?
Never planned to.
Great. How long has it been since the hospital?
It's been a little bit.
Sorry, how long has it been since Saline left the hospital?
Oh, about an hour.
Way too long for her to have been home. Got it.
Oh, yes.
I am going to whip my phone out of my pocket, see that there is no text that she made it home safe, and I am going to text her like a millennial, or do I call her?
I got a way to find her if she's not home.
What do you mean you have a way to find her?
Well, how do I explain this?
Quickly.
I lived in the woods for quite some time in a cave, and that cave overlooked some weird portal thing, I guess. Saw Saline there a lot. I know her scent, her mannerisms pretty well.
The minute you say the thing about the portal, because Crispin watched her close it, why would she be at the portal? That's insane. They were just going home.
I'm not saying she's at the portal. I'm just saying I can smell her. I'm just explaining why. I know her scent really well.
Maybe we're being paranoid, and I am just going to send a text. That is, where are you? Are you safe? Getting worried.
There's no response.
This is as we're getting in the car. And just, all right, lead on. And when she doesn't respond to my text, I will try to call Michael.
I'm going to... Is there a sunroof in this Hummer?
Please say yes. Please say yes.
Sure, why not? Yes.
I'm going to climb out of it onto the roof of the car. Yeah, and I'm going to transform. I'm in a fast-moving car. No one's going to see me. It's fine. And I'm just going to hold on and just sniff out Saline. Try to catch a scent.
Give me a dark roll.
That's 7. Barely made it.
It's very faint. Very faint. But it is leading you in the direction of the woods.
She might be at the portal.
You just... Crispin will tear off for the portal.
Okay.
Michael definitely doesn't pick up the phone, I assume.
Nope.
Give me a volatile, please.
That's unfair. That's a 7.
Okay. You do a little bit more damage to the Hummer as you hit one of those vehicle barricades and just kind of sideswipe it on your way by.
That's fine.
But the very strong very solid car can handle it as you rocket up the hills toward the woods.
When Michael does not answer the phone and Saline has still not texted me back, I will call Saline.
In true Gen Z fashion, Celine's phone is definitely on vibrate, but that doesn't mean it won't be heard. I just wanted to clarify that point.
Okay. Saline, you are crouched near an opening into the large cavern where Michael is presumably attempting to open the portal when there is a loud buzzing in your pocket as your phone begins to ring. Before you can reach it, you feel something coming up behind you in a blur. A hand wraps around your throat, a nail pressed firmly to your jugular. Welcome. I have been expecting you. And Vega will force you out into the open.
Okay. Let him do that, I guess. I don't really have a choice.
I mean, you do have choices. It's just how successful they'll be.
Is there any way that I can try press the answer button on my phone without Vega realizing, so at least whoever is calling me could maybe hear what's happening?
Give me a keep your cool. And Michael,
Yes.
you hear an insistence in Barbara's flat voice. Again.
Another 7.
More cracks widen. Even little pieces begin to dissolve, letting more of that light shine through. It is weakening, but it is holding firm.
I rolled a 6.
Vega will catch your hand and force it behind your back, away from the phone. I don't want any unwanted guests.
Suppose I'm a wanted guest then. I mean, you did say you were expecting me.
You are the guest of honor.
What does that mean? Okay. Can I see fully what Michael is doing?
Oh yeah, you can. Barbara will turn to look at you and just give a barely imperceptible nod before she looks back to where Michael is straining to open this gate.
I would like to shout for Michael. Just shout his name. Just trying to break his concentration.
Vega's hand will tighten, and you can feel just this drip of liquid as the nail punctures the first couple layers of dermis, just as a warning. Michael, you will hear Saline shout for you.
He'll woozily, turn and look at her, and then turn back and try to get this portal open and complete the job. 8. 9 minus 1.
The power is slipping from you, and the wall is becoming harder to impact, but larger holes are opening up into it. Maybe one last good push will do what needs to be done.
Okay. And I'll do it if I can.
Can I try and do something? I'm giving myself the condition trap. Haha. And I would like to try and lash out physically to try and get away from Vega. Is it gonna work? I don't know. I don't have any other ideas at this point. I'm stressed.
Okay.
10.
Very nice. Why don't you describe your self-defense?
I think she try and yell for Michael again. And yell for him to stop. And move in a way that Vega cuts into her skin a little more. So there's more blood.
Take 1 harm.
Okay. To try and get more blood than he was expecting. So that he's a vampire. And while he's an older vampire, it's still more than he was expecting. So the scent disorients him just for a second. I want so that I'm in my head, his grip loosens just a fraction. And I would use that to try and slip away. He's holding one of my hands behind my back. The other arm is free.
Yes.
How much bigger than me, is he?
He is about a third bigger, however you imagine that. He's taller, broader.
I have a question. I still wear Bert's ring.
Yes, you do.
So I probably wear it on my non-dominant hand, which I'm assuming is the one that isn't being held, because I would have reached for my phone with my dominant hand. So I'm going to try and essentially bring my elbow back, elbow him in, I guess it would be the gut. I know he doesn't breathe, but it is still startling. And then turn around and punch him in the face like I did with Michael with the silver ring.
All right. The sudden spring to action does catch Vega off guard. The jab to the stomach doesn't throw him off as much as you think it would, but he is not expecting the ring at all. So when you connect and there is that flash of opposing energies that you experienced when hitting Michael, it sends him reeling backward and he releases you.
I'm going to run for Michael.
Crispin and Solomon, you barrel into the woods, following Solomon's nose toward the Cascade, and will pull into the parking lot where you have that open SUV and no sign of anyone else. However, as you pull into park, there is a flash of greenish light from the cavern beneath the waterfall.
Crispin is going to do a terrible job parking the Hummer. It's taking up like 4 spots. It's bad. He's definitely getting a ticket. He'll snag the keys and just point in the direction of the light and yell out to Solomon there. And he's just going to book in that direction without waiting, assuming that Solomon is going to follow.
Solomon also just doesn't waste time. Actually, do I know a faster way? I lived here, and that's by my house.
You do, yeah. You've lived here for quite a while, so you know all the same shortcuts.
Then I'll yell out to Crispin, this way is faster, actually. Come on, this way. It is faster, but it's probably kind of dangerous. Not gonna lie.
That feels accurate to say.
It's probably a dangerous shortcut that he probably is used to, but it's pretty steep slopes, or some drops or something. Nothing that'll kill you, but might be wouldn't do this normally, you know?
Sure.
As you head down into the caverns, you round the corner, seeing the larger chamber beyond and the commotion that is stirring when a figure steps into your path. Crispin, Solomon, I thought you were going home. Dr. Miller stands between you and the chamber.
This is home.
Are we close enough to see everything that's happening? Have I put eyes on Saline yet?
Yeah, you can see her beyond Dr. Miller.
I'll further my transformation, and I'll say, go ahead. I got this.
I don't think Crispin even fully consciously parses what that means before he takes off. He sees Saline. She's not where she's supposed to be. I didn't see the hit she just put on Vega, but he's presumably recovered by this point and looming back over her.
Well, she is racing toward Michael, who's off to one side.
Okay. Is Vega getting back up to, go after her?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then, yeah, I'm just going to do my best to get to her first.
Give me a volatile.
7.
You barrel past Dr. Miller, who just kind of watches you curiously, only to run straight into one of Vega's security guards, who side tackles you before you can get too far into the chamber. Michael, what are you doing? As Saline has called out to you, saw that flash of light as Saline is struggling against her captor.
So I did want to make an attempt to open the portal, and I may or may not have rolled for it while waiting.
What you got?
I got a 10 minus 1, which makes it a 9.
Love it.
Oh, I do have a handful of forwards that I just remembered by looking at my character sheet. So maybe I will use one forward and turn that into a 10.
All right. As Saline lunges for you, you summon all of the remaining toxicity and energy into one final blow. Having Saline near actually helps as it amplifies what's left and lets you focus it. And in a burst of force, those cracking stones in the puddle before you shatter and explode inward, exposing this colorful portal reflecting another world on the other side.
Michael, seeing success, just relaxes and just vomits the rest of Saline's blood in his stomach all over the ground, and then stumbles his way over to Saline and tries to hand her one of those bones.
She is definitely not paying any attention to you and is staring at the portal to the Fey realm that she is intimately familiar with. Can she see anyone? Can we see anyone in the portal, or is it just the Fey realm right now?
You can make out distant shadows. Someone's moving around up at the top. Solomon, what's your line of action?
I see the portal now open.
Yes. You saw Crispin get tackled. Michael is nearly collapsed at Saline's feet.
Probably some nobody expects. He's gonna shift back into human form and just kind of go, shit. I guess we lost it. That sucks. But what's the plan here for this?
Well, the plan is going nicely, I would say. Just one last element.
What's that?
Saline, as you stare, dumbfounded by the open portal to your home, one that has been closed to you for a long time, you do feel this rush of vitality and energy as that connection is reestablished, and you can feel your home just on the other side of the portal. You feel cold metal pull across your throat, and that feeling of vitality begins to drain as Barbara steps away with a now bloody knife. You watch through a dizzying haze where your blood hits the ground. It is drawn to the portal. The portal begins to turn red where those drops hit. More and more, this breeze, this gust of wind and force and energy begins to pick up, pouring out of the portal until it is a geyser of power flowing out into the mortal world. And you can hear the distant howls and cries of an army rushing to the portal.
Quick question, what the fuck?
Michael is just desperately trying to get you to take one of the bones.
Michael can suck a dick. I'm bleeding out. My throat's been cut.
Yeah. So take a harm, and unless you get some really great intervention, you'll take a harm periodically.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna kick Michael's hand, away from me, because he keeps trying to give me the freaking bone.
No.
Can I still speak?
You're finding it very difficult, but yes, you can.
I'm gonna turn to Barbara, and I think at this point fall to my knees and just choke out. Why?
Crispin, you recover from being tackled just in time to see Barbara cut Saline's throat.
I've been tackled, but am I grappled?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can fight through it if you'd like.
Yeah, I would like to smash this motherfucker in the face.
Give me a volatile.
Great. Fuck. Okay, so that's an 8.
Okay. You manage to claw your way out of the security guard's grasp, maybe give him a good kick for his troubles.
Cool. Yeah, I kick him in the face and try to break his nose. And I scramble up and I watched Barbara slit her throat. White hot rage. Yeah, I'm gonna tackle Barbara.
Okay.
So that's another volatile.
Yep. We'll come around to that result. Solomon or Michael, what are you doing?
I'd like to gaze into the abyss.
What are you looking for?
I think we see Solomon taking all this in. He's got this look on his face, if that makes sense. His instincts start to kick in. Question I'm looking for is, what can I do to stop this, or to help stop this?
Stop what in particular?
Either the portal or Saline die, whichever one comes first.
Give me a dark roll.
12.
Very nice. The portal, you're not sure that there's anything that you personally can do to stop that. Saving Saline, however, is much more doable, namely stopping the bleeding and getting her help, and or clearing a way for her to get to help.
Then that's what I'll do. That last option is my goal here, but we can come back around to that when it's my turn again.
Michael?
Michael, in his stupor, is just laser focused on getting this thing that can protect Saline into Saline's possession. And he's gonna keep trying to get her to take this thing. Please, just take this. I imagine him kind of on his knees behind Saline after she turns around talking to Barbara, throat bleeding out. There's her blood down his face and chest because he threw all that up, and arm outstretched with this bone that he grabbed from his pocket. Please take this.
She's still focused on trying to get an answer from Barbara, which I don't think comes.
Barbara is going to bend at the waist, awkwardly, strangely, lowering to your level, knife still in hand. Both of your worlds are ours now. We'll resolve Crispin's bulldozing of Barbara. What did you roll?
10. Had to use forward to do it, but 10.
Fair enough. Please describe your attack.
Barbara still has the knife in her hand, and so I'm going to go for the hand that has the knife, and my goal is to kind of grab and take control of the arm with the knife in it and try to take her down to the ground with me, keeping the knife away from me, so I don't get stabbed.
You practically clear Saline, barreling into Barbara, taking immediate control of the knife and bearing her down to the ground. It's at this point that, Saline, the life draining from you takes your consciousness with it, and you are going to pass out.
Do I take another harm?
You should be at 3, I think.
If I take another harm now, yes.
Yeah. The scene breaks from our teens' perspectives. Our vision locked onto the collapsed girl at Barbara's feet. Saline's spilling blood is drawn toward the portal like dozens of red comets caught in the inescapable pool of a black hole, which flashes crimson as it slakes its thirst. The whole of the gateway shudders with a grotesque pleasure and grows thick and opaque, the images of the Fey realm fading into obscurity. That quivering abruptly turns violent, spreading into the stony foundations of the Cascade. Small stalactites detach from the ceiling and rain down around the assembled people. Cracks in the rock follow in the wake of a deep earthen rumble, rolling like an underground boulder toward the unsuspecting Chester's Chasm. However, none could hear the distant city-breaking earthquake. over the portals, screaming. No, not the portal. Something beyond it. Many things screeching and crying out from the dozens of different realms shifting and blinking behind the portal, its surface translucent again. The visions in this world tear are like viewing far-off places through a rose-filtered kaleidoscope, flitting and swirling landscapes in an array of contrasts, from gray with devastation to bright with life, and within each, shadows gather and grow larger until they blot out their respective worlds. That's when they emerge. Creatures of every nightmare pull themselves through the blood-stained portal, drawing their ethereal and monstrous bodies into the mortal realm. Cthulhian horrors, demonic soldiers, mythical beasts, and even the wild hunt pour out onto Earth, slowly taking corporeal form as they move. But they do not linger. As if called by a distant dinner bell, those invading monsters pay no heed to the people around them as they hurry out of the caves, seemingly with one motive: to bring about the end of the mortal world. All Our Faults is a Tabletop Talespinners Network production. Emma Kocar is the creative director. The cast of All Our Faults includes Abby Marie Carter as Saline, Extell as Solomon, Juicy Garland as Michael, and Kat Kelly as Crispin. I have been your MC, hostess, and producer, Mistress Winter. If you'd like to connect with us, our socials are in the show notes. We wish your hearts a safe and peaceful place in this dark and frightening world. We'll see you next time. Yeah, thank you.
I mean, my phone is definitely on vibrate, so that doesn't mean there's
you
no
can
sound.
still
but,
hear
like,
the vibration of a phone
Yes.
in a quiet forest. Let's be clear.
I just would like to clarify that wouldn't be ringing.
Fair. I mean, that's
If
fair.
you're a true Gen Zer, it's either on Do Not Disturb or on Silent.
My phone, I don't even know what my ringtone is. My phone, the only time the ringer is ever on is when my phone is on Do Not Disturb, like sleep mode, and it's only so like a family member calls me, they can wake me up. That's it. It's the only time my ringer is on, ever.
Incredible.
My phone is always on silent.
This has been a tale from the Tabletop Talespinners Network.